This is Loki with Blue Collar Prepping. Today I'd like to talk to you about knives, specifically some of the terminology surrounding knives, so that as we progress in the future talking about knives, you understand words that I may use. The first big distinctive terminology regarding knives is fixed versus folding. This is a fixed knife. It's all one piece, no joints, no breaking. It's a very strong design, a little harder to carry, requires a sheath, but is very durable. This is a folding knife. It has a hinge, folds. This particular knife is a locking knife with a spring, so it makes it more durable than a non-locking knife, but it still has a hinge. There's still a break point. It can fail. But it is much, much easier to carry just in my pocket. In addition to that, there is the terms, the point, obviously the sharp point that goes into things. The spine, which is the back of the knife, it's the thickest portion. The belly, which is the portion of the blade that is curved and to varying degrees depending upon the knife. And that does a lot of drawing work as you're cutting through things. A deeper belly allows for different kinds of cuts. Straighter belly allows for a finer cut. The hilt of the knife, which is where the blade meets the handle, it's where your hand stops. A good hilt will quite frequently have a stop, something to keep your hand from going onto the blade and getting cut. The pommel, which is the back portion of the handle, which is generally behind your hand. It is the end of the knife itself. The handle itself, sometimes referred to as scales. The scales can be made of natural materials, synthetic materials, and those have different qualities that we can discuss later. In addition, pommels quite frequently have a lanyard loop. They can have a hard point for breaking glass on certain knives. And they are a strong point of the knife. Certain blades it uses a hammer, things of that nature. Now, when I mentioned spines are the thickest part of the knife, that does break down to a thick knife such as that hunting knife I just had has a very thick spine. This fillet knife has a thin spine and is very flexible, which allows it to bend, but it is not a knife that you want to beat on, hammer on. It will break very easily. So the thick spine is a differentiating factor there. The other thing about a fixed knife, as I said, a sheath protects the blade, stores the knife, often has a means of storing it on a belt. It is required for a fixed blade knife to prevent you from cutting yourself, damaging your blade, and the like.